We are currently approaching a Shmittah year. From our perspective, this means it's just like Friday afternoon. All the equipment, the tools, machinery will remain idle during the coming year. These tools were acquired at great expense, and for some we still owe a great amount of money to the banks, to whom Shmittah year is insignificant. Therefore, the financial blow is felt strongly. It is worth mentioning that the Chazon Ish was here in this area many years ago. He guided the farmers, and we continue in his tradition today. We plant animal feed as a form of crop rotation. If we were to leave the field completely empty, thorns and weeds would grow, ruining the fields for the coming few years. During Shmittah, we don't rely on Heter Mechira. We belong to Otzros Beis Din. You must realize that a vineyard, as opposed to other kinds of fields, specifically the pruning, is what determines the quality of the crop. In other words, if we look at what makes a quality vineyard, other than its altitude, constant care, and disease prevention, pruning is the foundation. It wasn't random the Torah forbade pruning during Shmittah, because that is the nature of the grapevine. This is how it grows. Lechatchila, there is only one option, and that is to prune before Rosh Hashanah. Most of this vineyard, which is a quality vineyard, will only ripen after Rosh Hashanah, and therefore we don't have the option to prune it before. We're here with about 110 acres, which produces about 8 to 9 tons of grapes, about 1 million bottles. Now in 2007 we added another 40 acres. My name is Eliyahu Saban. I was a resident of Gush Katif. The farm I had, the hothouses, storage rooms, equipment, welding workshop were all left behind. I established this farm a year ago. It has about 8.5 acres of hothouses. It cost me about 3 million shekel. All the companies from whom I purchased the hothouses, the heaters, and the water systems require payments even in the upcoming year. This year, Be'ezras Hashem, I've been able to produce organic peppers for commercial use. Next year, we are entering Shmittah. I went to discuss with the tzaddik with whom I generally consult, Rabbi Elazar Abu Chatzira from Be'er Sheva. He told me clearly, you are to observe the Shmittah year. The Torah says, I will command my blessing in the 6th year, and you have nothing to worry about. And Baruch Hashem, I was happy to hear that there is a Shmittah fund in our country. I discovered that the banks don't keep Shmittah and are not considerate of us. But the Keren Hashvi'is decided to come and arrange money for me from good Jews so that I can at least survive the difficulties during the Shmittah year. I am doing this out of understanding and love and complete faith that this will not break me, and keeping the mitzvah is what's important to me. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep Shmittah properly. My name is Baruch Hadiri, Naama Farm. We have lived in this place for 30 years. We have here over 1,200 acres. For me as a farmer, the Shmittah year is the best and most secure year, because I've experienced 4 Shmittah cycles and seen open miracles every time. The Torah says, I will command my blessing on you. This promise is renewed every Shmittah year. From Shmittah to Shmittah, our forces are strengthened and increased. This land that you see behind me, an additional 400 acres, were recently added to the Shmittah keeping fields. For us as farmers, it is the calmest year in which we can depend that we will Be'ezras Hashem complete it successfully.
My name is Nathan. I live here on Moshav Mavo Choron. Where we are right now is called the Merkaz Mazon. This is basically the heart of the whole dairy, because in a nutshell, more than 50% of the expenditures of the hotzaot for the dairy come from the feed, from the ration that we have to give the cows. The cow eats 25 kilos of feed a day. If you say we're milking 450 cows, that's over 12,500 kilos a day of food. A very big percentage of this food is grown here in fields around Mavo Choron. Because of the Shmittah year, we have had to prepare extra silage for the Shmittah year and the year afterwards, and this has increased the costs by at least 10%. That means by buying extra silage, by paying a place to keep the silage for an extra year, the prat, meaning that there is a certain amount of waste because it's lying there. We're hoping, we're optimistic. Bezrat Hashem, we're sure that that Giburei Koach, that with Hashem's help, with your help, and with that we'll succeed. And Bezrat Hashem, you're all invited to come and visit us here on Mevo Choron Refet Danron. Thank you very much.
If we understand what this means, the Mesirut Nefesh, what there are thousands of farmers, we have, thank God, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dunams, what are going to be shoyvet in Shnat Shmittah. This is the biggest Kiddush Hashem that I don't know in how many years, or we go back to the history.
What you see here is corn for popping. For this plot, I have to pay the lease, taxes, council fees, and my situation doesn't really interest them. They say the Rabbanut offers a heter mechira, so go get a heter mechira and continue working the land. From our perspective, it's like being Mechalel Shabbos.